Hey Avid Seniors, today we're going to talk about how to do Noodle Tools note cards. This is for if you missed it in class or you just need extra help. So we're going to click on the Service Learning folder for 2020 and then we're going to click on Assignment 2. Assignment 2 is what's due next. You're going to have 2 note cards per each source filled out completely and organized by piles by topic. You'll understand what piles are when we get to the Noodle assignment. I just want to remind you that there's no physical turn-in for this assignment. Just complete it in Noodle because we'll be able to see it. So we're going to download this checklist, this Noodle checklist, and we're going to see that first we have to log into Noodle using our Office 365 account. There are 3 ways to get to Noodle. The first one is by going to the MNPS LibGuides, clicking on MLA Citations, and scrolling down to Noodle Tools. The second way is by signing into Clever, logging in as a student, and going through there. The third and easiest way to do it is going to be noodletools.com. So once you get logged into your Noodle Tools, you are going to open up your project. So let me get signed in here and I will show you. Alright, so here we are. You have projects, dashboard, sources, note card, and paper. So we are actually going to start with your projects. So here is my project that you should have already created with your class. Go ahead and type your essential question. So we're going to look at my essential question, which is about anxiety. So how does social media affect anxiety in teens? That's my question. And you can see I've shared my inbox with Miss Allen, Miss Alosi, and Miss Binion as well. Some other things we talked about in class today is putting in assignments. This is your to-do item, so you have to have 2 note cards per source. And then your assignment next Wednesday will be to add 4 sources. So I went ahead and put those in. You don't have to do the to-do list. It's just helpful. All right, so to find your sources, you're going to click Sources, and you should have already uploaded at least 3 sources in there. So while we're looking, we want to check our sources. You can see if you need to get to that source, you can click the View Live webpage, and I can see see what I put here, and we also have the link right there. So I have 4 right here. All right, so what we're going to be doing today in class is note cards. So you're going to click on note cards, and I just want to point out we are going to be clicking on note cards, but you can also access your note cards right there. So click note cards. And you are first going to type in your main topic and your 4 subtopics. So yours will be blank. Right now it'll say subtopic and subtopic. You're going to want to change those to your 4 subtopics. So mine is anxiety, causes, types, coping strategies, and student care. So this is my main idea of my project, and this is the subtopic. So when I'm getting ready to work more on this, I am going to add a subtopic to that subtopic, and this is where I'll put my question 1 and my question 2. That was on my research graphic organizer. For now, your teacher is only looking for your subtopics. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these so that they don't confuse you. But this is the flow of the paper. Okay, so this is what my paper's going to look like. All right, so we're going to start a new note card, and you can just ignore the ones that I already have as examples. You're going to hit New, and you're going to title it. Please make sure that your title has something to do either with the subtopic or it tells you what's going to be in this note card. So if I'm looking up background information, this is my first note card on background information. I'm going to use this article, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this article, and it's really helpful. Let me go back. It's really helpful if you have the article that you're going to use already opened up. So I'm going to use, we'll use Gale, and that will open up your article. So what I'm going to do is come down here. I've read the whole article. Just wanted to let you know you can highlight things. So if you want to read and you're like, oh my gosh, this is such great information, you can highlight it and put it green, and then you can put a note, okay? Use in subtopic 1. whatever you want to do, okay? And those will save. So say I want to use, let's see, I'm going to find a good quote. Pinterest addicts show signs of OCD. Pinterest allows users to post pictures on virtual boards. A main symptom of OCD is obsession. So it's talking about how Pinterest is adding to people's social media anxiety. So I'm going to go to my note cards, and I'm going to click my background one that I just created. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, so here's the quote directly from it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put it in quotes so that I know, because if you don't put it in quotes and it comes into your paper, you're a plagiarizer, so don't do that. So then I'm going to come over to the paraphrase, and I'm going to paraphrase it. So a main symptom of OCD is obsession. A common obsession is the necessity to have things in a particular order. On Pinterest, addicts tend to obsess over the quality of their pins and organization of their boards. So then I'm going to paraphrase or summarize it. Remember that the key is you don't want to use more than 7 words that were in the original quote. So I'm going to put obsessive, and I spelled that wrong, so don't judge me. I'm having trouble here. Okay, obsessive compulsive disorder can sometimes be found in people who post on Pinterest, as it makes them concerned about their social media appearance. Okay, so this is kind of summarizing what that said, and then I'm going to add my original thinking. So I'm going to click out of it. It says, how does this fit with what you know? What do you wonder? What can you follow up on? So just to remind you, like this research paper, you are proving a point. You are the expert, and you're finding people to prove what you want to prove. So this is going to help you prove, but what we really care about is your original thinking. So every time you give evidence, you have to give an original thinking. So I'll say something like OCD is a type of anxiety that many people deal with, especially those who engage in online platforms like Pinterest. Okay, so that's like my interpretation. We really care about your interpretation. So you're going to hit save. All right, so then you can see I have this one right here. So what then you're going to do is you are going to create, once you have 6, you can go back to your sources. I'm going to need 2 from that source. And all right, so I'm going to find a better article, a new article. Let's see. So this one is about age of anxiety. Could your anxiety actually be your superhero? So I'm going to click on that one, and I'm going to look at that one. So you're going to go to each one of these sources, and you are going to find what you want to help you prove what you want to prove in your research paper. So we're going to just take a quote. Here we go. I'm just going to take this one because I want to show you what else you can do with this Noodle tool. So I'm going to go to, you can either click up here or you can click new for note card. Okay, and it'll be right there. So it's already filled in for me. Thank you. So this is about coping strategies. And I'm going to put 1 because I may have more about that. I'm going to copy and paste it. I'm going to fill out my paraphrase. And then I'm going to add my original thinking. Okay? So you're going to save it. All right, so now what we're talking about with piles. So you should have 2 note cards per 3 sources. So maybe you're like a go-getter and you have 7 sources already. Good job for you. For this assignment, you only have to do 2. You will have to do more next week. So just kind of keep that in mind. So if you have a lot, we're going to see that, and that's going to be great. So I just wanted to show you this, that when you get a new note card, they all pile here. You have to drag them apart. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make a pile, which is the last thing you have to do. So far you've done topics and you've done note cards. So I have 2 right here that I've shown you how to make. And then we're about to do piles. So this is what your teacher is going to be looking for. So we're going to enter a pile, which is basically like just a category of note cards. So I'm going to use subtopic A, causes, so that when I'm ready to write the causes part of my paper, all I have to do is click on that pile and all of the note cards will be there. So you see the pile has blue and yellow in the background, so it looks like several note cards. So my background information is going to go in the causes. So I'm just going to drag it over there. And then I'm going to expand it, and now look, I have it right here, and I can edit it. I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to move that. Then I'm going to make another pile, and this pile is going to be subtopic C, which for me is coping strategies. And I'm going to drag that card here. Okay, so now I have 2 piles, 2 subtopics. So you may, on this time where you're trying to find 6 note cards, you may only put, like, you might have 3 note cards on causes and 3 note cards on types. Okay, you may not have note cards yet on the other stuff, and that's okay. We're only looking for 6. And so we do want them done by pile. So these are ones that I did earlier, and this is 5. Okay, so it'll be 2, 2, and 3, but it's okay if it's 2, 3, and 1. So these piles, you can see is my subtopic 1, causes, subtopic 2, which actually is my subtopic 3, coping strategies. Okay, so that is how you make a pile and keep yourself organized. Now, from the teacher standpoint, we just want to show you what a good project setup looks like. And for this one, I'm going to use Eddie, because I know Eddie will not care if I use him. So we're going to go to projects. I'm going to show you what our inbox looks like, and I'm going to click on your projects, and we're going to use Eddie's. So hello, Eddie. And you see he's got his EQ in, or learning target, I'm sorry, his essential question. He's got his sources already in there. Great job, Eddie. And they're all relevant, and they're all up to date, so in the last like 5 or 10 years. And then he's got his note cards organized. So he has not fixed his topics yet, but he's going to. And you see he has his into subtopics. So if I click on it and expand it, I can see his statistics. Now, you can't rename a note card the same thing, which is why Eddie has 2 T's. So you can, misspell something, or you can add a 1 to it. It's all about keeping your note cards organized. If you don't like to view it on the tabletop, click detail, and it will show you exactly what this looks like. So, to recap, you are going to be opening up your 3 sources. You are going to be adding note cards to those sources. And I'm going to go back to my example. And we are going to go back to my example, sorry. And I just want to recap for you. Put your EQ in, click on sources, open up your sources, okay? You are going to click on note cards, and what your teacher is looking for is that you filled out your topic with your 4 subtopics, that you've created 6 note cards, that you've filled in this, this, and this, and that you have put your note cards into piles. Just to be very clear, I would love to show you that, I want to show you one thing. When you get ready to write your paper, you are going to have the quote, you'll have your paraphrase, and you'll have your original thinking. And when you're getting ready to write, you'll be able to choose, do I want to use the quote or do I want to use the paraphrase? And that's really going to help you stay organized. All of this next week is going to be turned into your, it's going to log into Microsoft 365, and it's all going to connect so that you can create an outline. You're going to create your outline here, and then you are going to be adding note cards to your outline. So, all right, and so the last thing I wanted to show you, well, there's 2 more things, sorry. When you write a note card, this is a question that came up a lot in class. Please only write 1 quote per note card. Don't do quote after quote, okay? So you're going to have so many note cards, so you need 1 per quote. Don't do more than 1 per note card. And lastly, if you need need visual help, this is on the Schoology assignment. It tells you how to add new sources on the database, how to cite if you missed that day. And then here's like a list of what we're actually doing. So, hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys in class.